It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Atlanta Falcons. And it kicks off next on Madden NFL 25.
First opened in 2017, there's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Veteran punter Bradley Pinion has this one teed up, and we are underway from Atlanta. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
Steps away to his left. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Right back to him on first down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played. Nice play on the football, and while it was tipped in the air and made everyone a little bit anxious before falling to the ground, you just know defensive players are taught to knock the ball to the ground. But early in games, emotions come into play. Nerves come into play. And despite the training, the ball was tipped up. Fortunately for them, they didn't pay for that error.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. It's caught inside the 25. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Calvin Austin, 59 yards. And the Steelers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. They said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive. He burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. 5 plays there on that drive. And in the end, a Calvin Austin touchdown grab finished the drive off. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the rookie from the University of Washington.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
And looking to throw, Penix. And his throw is incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. And he'll get about 3 here up to the 44-yard line.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Here's 3rd and 7. You're looking to throw, Penix. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt, the All-Pro, in there to take him down. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. Fielded at the 20. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
They need 18 yards here on 3rd down. Now Rodgers. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3-and-out.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. Fielded at the 33. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And it will be Falcon football. So for the 2nd time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And on the first drive, 3-and-out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
On second down, another shot for Robinson. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. 3rd and 2. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. On 3rd down, Penix from the gun. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
From the shotgun, it's Penix. Right back to Pitts again. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to Robinson now on 1st down. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
From the 29, here's 2nd and 5. They'll throw with Penix. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 18. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Here's Penix. There's Mooney with another catch. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's 2nd down. To the air, Penix locates Mooney on the out route. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They'll run with Robinson. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Bijan Robinson, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. A 10-play drive that time, and it was Bijan Robinson who took it home with a touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And able to get this out to the 25. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. Defensively, they were in the 3-4. Solid run up the middle. What made it successful?
Well, what you have to do is control the nose guard, but sometimes you don't do it by blocking him. You do it by influencing him. Get him moving to one side or the other and hit him back on the opposite.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's a second down and 9. Throwing now is Rodgers. Looking for Austin, intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They'll have very good starting field position here as they try to break our tie, and they start 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Penix working out of the gun here. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. T.J. Watt, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Penix. Short throw caught by Pitts. And that's good for a gain of 6. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker. And this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Got this complete to the tight end, Pitts. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
2nd down and 8. These two teams all tied after 1. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football. Here's a 2nd and 8. As they've got it as we resume action. Operating from the gun, Penix. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
So much of his game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll be brought down shy of the 1st down marker at the 11. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Fourth down, and the attention turns to Falcon kicker Younghoe Koo. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Koo knocks this one through the post, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal. And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out. Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead. That's to the veteran. It's Robert Woods. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. Metcalf motions left. Here's Rodgers to throw. Got his man. It's Warren. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did. On the give, it's Warren. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit. From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd down and 6. Throwing is Rodgers. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 38-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the 1st down. Now it's Rodgers. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further. Now a 2nd and 10. A handoff for Warren. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 47 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good,
yeah.
Backside guys,
nah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I've had better. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Leonard Floyd from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Running left, it's Warren. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Warren. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the first down. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long, because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will knot us up at 10. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people would look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And it'll be second down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 4. He'll drop to throw. Going for Kyle Pitts again. He's got him again. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
2nd and 12. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a 1st down.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
This 2nd and 4. And looking to throw, Penix. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. We've seen the pressure get to him several times in this game. There, though, we see him escape it.
And we've seen this rookie video before as well. That type of pressure, oftentimes, what do you resort to? Your legs, try and escape. What you hope is that this doesn't become habit for him, that he learns how to handle the pressure, still keep his eyes downfield, and make some throws.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
You're looking to throw, Penix. And incomplete on the deep ball.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They're going to look to throw. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 56 yards rushing for him now to this point.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now if you want to take a shot on 2nd down and go play action and make it look like the same exact play and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
Rodgers now to throw.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
The Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. On the run, it's Warren. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Here's Rodgers. A short one there to Freiermuth. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. All tied up at 10. 2 minutes left in the first half. 2nd down and 3. To throw is Rodgers. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in a game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Now Rodgers. That's caught. He gets it out to Austin. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down. To throw, it's Rodgers. Looking for Woods again, and he finds him. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Robert Woods, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers are going to take the lead.
Brandon, what we just saw there were two guys who are in sync. The person delivering the ball, but especially the person running the route. Tremendous job. It results in a terrific play.
Extra point now by Boswell. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. That time a 9-play drive. And it ends with a Robert Woods touchdown reception. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Well, the Falcons back out getting set for this next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And that's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To the air, Penix. Into the hands of London. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll throw with Penix. That's out wide here for Robinson. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Second down and a yard. To throw again is Penix. And this will be caught by Mooney. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Now Penix. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll run this one right with Robinson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
On now to punt. Here's Bradley Pinion. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Nine seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Call it a gain of a yard as it brings us to the end of the first half. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. One touchdown is the difference. 17-10 our score, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline. And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Here's Penix. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Tough one there. First drive of the 3rd quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them, because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
In motion right, that's Metcalf. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 2. They'll run it. Warren. And he'll go down at the 28. 86 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Now a run with Warren. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
Here's Warren. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Johnson again. And not a whole lot out there as they'll get him down at about the 2. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
So it's 3rd and goal, and now the question, can this Falcon defense stand tall once more? Warren. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. That's kind of an interesting decision. 1-score game, 3rd quarter. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm willing to go out on the limb on this one and go for it. And here's why. If I set it up right now and go get the touchdown, I'm in firm control of this ball game, and my team has a ton of confidence. If I don't get it, hey, I rely on my defense. And if somehow they go downfield on me and score, so be it. I want to be in control and in firm control right now.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. Staying on his feet. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. He couldn't get the ball away on 4th and goal. And the Falcons able to muster together a goal line stand. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance.
Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Robinson up the middle. And they work this out past the 25. 57 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. I don't think that's what the defensive coordinator had in mind there. You got him pinned back inside the 5, and then you let him rip off that long run.
You're already anticipating the film session, aren't you?
There's going to be some anger.
Yeah, it's not going to be at the greatest hits, is it? Because they didn't hit anyone on that play. Supposed to have them pinned back deep. Instead, they leave a big crack, a gaping hole, and guess what? They're in bad position right now.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
They'll go play action here with Penix. This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside, and they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. And maybe shades of the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 3rd down, Robinson. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Steelers offense and their running back Jaylen Warren headed back onto the field. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
Rodgers going to throw. Got his man. It's Warren. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. 3rd and 7 now.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short game.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Robinson here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
They'll set up to throw. That's complete to Mooney. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
There's Mooney with another catch. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 17 yards and a 1st down for Atlanta.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
This a 2nd and 8. Again, it's Robinson. There's Robinson showing the flash. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Hand off now to Robinson. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Falcons are going to have a 1st and goal as some good running there gets them down to about the 2-yard line. Knock it on the door. We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there. Luck was on his side, able to recover that fumble.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
On that snap, he's the hero of his defense after the play he just made. A one-possession game, and his hit kept it exactly that.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Robinson trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th. They'll try and throw. Here's Penix. Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete.
Great defense there on 3rd and goal. They took away everything. Forced him to fire that one to the sideline where no one could get it.
Likely the play of the game here. Trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. They'll go for it. Here's Penix. Buying time. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Michael Penix punching it in from a yard away. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Coup for the extra point. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Steelers ready to take over on offense. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. Throwing now is Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Well executed there on 2nd down. So do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility. But now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. On the give, it's Warren. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch victory.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Throwing is Rodgers. A short one there to Freiermuth. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 18. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Running left, it's Warren. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. A handoff for Warren. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Can we just take that run and turn it into a kind of a clip and save? Because that tells you everything you need to know about this drive. They've been moving the ball awfully well.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Rodgers to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Steelers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. Warren is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. DK Metcalf. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Steelers answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the fourth. So, Charles, this game feels like it has been punch, counter punch all throughout, and that touchdown breaks our tie here in the fourth quarter.
You're making me want to get back in the gym and start training again. You talk about those punches and counter punches. I also think this is where you and I start thinking to ourselves, who's going to make the play to change that, right? Who's going to get out of this little cycle that they're in right now and make a play and give their team a firm advantage?
Extra point put through by Boswell, and they will take a 7-point lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Well, now how about this return? And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Falcons offense and running back Bijan Robinson set to take over once more. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the fourth quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
He had to fight for every yard on that run, shook himself free of a tackle, and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
Robinson will try to pick it up. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Not at all what they envisioned on third down, 3 yards in the wrong direction. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. The Steelers offense and Aaron Rodgers getting set for their next drive. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it. Warren. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They need 2. Here's third down. Here's Rodgers. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Now Rodgers. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
To throw is Rodgers. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 23. He got 29 yards that time. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the run, it's Warren. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's Warren. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now 2nd and 5. Snap will come from the 6. That's a jet sweep into the hands of Metcalf. And he is going to have a Steeler first down. All smiles on that sideline. That should be the one to do it. And they'll indeed take a knee. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Now a run with Warren. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Jalen Warren taking it in from a yard out. And the Steelers have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this fourth quarter.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Boswell for the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So all eyes on the Falcons. Down by 2 touchdowns. A little over a minute to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Inside a minute to go. Here's 2nd and 10 now. And looking to throw, Penix. This pass is caught by London. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Well, defensively there, you want to play it a little safe and keep the action in front of you. But you definitely aren't looking to give up plays like that. They still got the cushion of a 2-score lead, but don't give them a freebie here in the final minute.
Here's 1st and 10. They'll throw with Penix. Robinson's got it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. So it's a win here for the Steelers, and we've said it so many times in the past, but it was Aaron Rodgers, CD, who really led the way.
Yeah, he was just on target all afternoon with 3 touchdown passes. They couldn't find a way to stop him, and ultimately, he guided them to victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Till next time, we say so long from Atlanta.
What is the deal? What are you doing? No way, you're kidding me. Man, I'm gonna put Daytos in.